father's gray eyes and his height. Like my DNA insults her. She mumbles something about going to the bank, but all she'll find are overdraft fees and denied credit. I'm afraid to tell her. Go out to the street. See if you recognize anyone. And tell them I need to see them, she orders me. I bound down the stairs. It takes my eyes a moment to adjust as I emerge into the bright summer sun. I look up and down the sidewalk. A homeless guy perches on top of a newspaper box and a kid rides by on a bike. Finding someone my mother knows is a sketchy task. I retreat inside. I didn't see anyone. Pearl, I need to get out of here. Her cheek rests against the grimy wall and the gash on the other side still bleeds, staining her yellow t-shirt crimson around the shoulder. Go across the street to the apartment with the Christmas wreath on the door. Knock 6 times. She lifts her knuckles and beats them weakly on the floor. Ask for Pauline. The building across the street houses a pimp and an assortment of women who emerge raccoon-like around dusk. I've met Pauline, long-limbed with scars on her arms that she doesn't try to hide. My mother has gone over there a few times and returned with 50 and sometimes $100. I knock as directed. Vinyl blinds part and a pair of bloodshot eyes appear. The door opens a crack. I seize the opportunity. I'm looking for Pauline. My mom, across the street, needs to see her. It's urgent. The door opens just enough to let me slip through into a dark foyer. Something like cinnamon hangs in the air, but mostly I smell cigarettes and defeat. A woman about my mom's age, wearing a silk robe, leads me back to the kitchen. Midge! Says she's looking for Pauline. Something about a mother across the street. A giant of a man sits at the kitchen table, playing solitaire. He looks up at me and licks his lips. What you looking for, sweetheart? I swallow hard. Leave it to my mother to put me in this situation. I draw a breath. Janet across the street. Pauline's friend. She just needs her help real quick. I sense that if I bring any word of trouble to the table, they'll escort me to the door. Midge looks at me full on, his eyes simultaneously hungry and concerned. Finally, he jerks his head toward the lady who answered the door. She gives me a sharp look before exiting. Pauline will be right with you, he says gruffly before returning to his game. With the toe of my boot, I trace the lines between the tiles on the floor like a maze, trying to find a way out of feeling vulnerable and helpless. I hear Pauline's smoky voice from down the hall before she appears. She greets me with her arms opened wide. Even though we've only met a few times, a long embrace is her customary greeting. As we exit the shady building, Pauline asks, "Are you still collecting those magazines?" I nod. I'll be sure to save some for you. Sometimes the girls leave them in the house. I hope I'm still not hanging around here by the time the next issue comes out. I jaywalk through traffic, filling Pauline in on what happened. I worry Darren may have returned. When Pauline pushes open the door to the building, my mother is where I left her, but with her eyes closed. At first, I fear she fainted, but she's probably been up at least 24 hours, if not longer. Pauline, gentle as ever, strokes my mother's leg to wake her up. For a vague instant, I picture Pauline tending babies or the elderly. She doesn't belong in this harsh life. Pauline, my mom says, brightening. Hi, JJ. How you doing? She coos softly. Been better. Well, come on, Pauline says, wrapping her arms underneath my mother's to help her up. Where are we going? Pauline asks, but before my mother answers, Pauline suggests,